Hook 3, Celebrity Insight. Lil Jon isn't a rapper known for rivalries. He's a bridge builder in music. So why is the internet buzzing about ops confessing? Often, speculation fills the gaps when privacy and discretion take the stage. When a headline explodes online saying, Lil Jon's ops confess what really happened to his son, fans are speechless. It's crafted to trigger instant emotion. It suggests betrayal. It suggests danger. It suggests a hidden truth finally revealed. And when the name attached is Lil Jon, the reaction becomes even stronger. Because Lil Jon isn't just a rapper, he's an era. The voice that defined crunk. The energy that shook clubs worldwide. The producer behind some of the most recognizable anthems of the 2000s. His larger-than-life persona made him unforgettable. So when his son becomes the center of a dramatic narrative, fans immediately feel concern. But before diving into speculation, let's establish something clearly. There is no verified evidence that anything tragic, criminal, or shocking happened to Lil Jon's son. No confirmed law enforcement reports. No credible news investigations. No official statements about a crisis. No documented confession from any supposed ops. So how did this story gain traction? To understand that, you have to understand how modern online storytelling works, especially when it intersects with hip-hop culture. The word ops carries weight. In rap slang, it refers to opposition, rivals, enemies, people on the other side of conflict. It signals tension. It implies drama. And drama spreads fast. But here's what many people overlook. Lil Jon's career hasn't been built on public feuds. Unlike some artists whose rivalries dominated headlines, Lil Jon became known for collaboration. He bridged regional sounds. He produced for different artists. He created records that unified crowds rather than divided camps. So when a headline claims, ops confessed, a logical question follows. Which ops? There's no widely documented rivalry connected to any alleged confession about his son. That's where privacy becomes part of the equation. Lil Jon's son, Nathan Smith, has largely remained outside of mainstream spotlight culture. Unlike many celebrity children who are constantly featured on social media or reality shows, Nathan has maintained a relatively low profile. And in today's digital landscape, privacy often turns into speculation. Hook 4, Celebrity Culture Insight. Privacy in celebrity families often becomes fodder for rumor. Lil Jon's son stays out of the spotlight, and the internet fills the silence with drama. A pattern we've seen with countless other stars. Some online creators have taken past interviews where Lil Jon spoke about hard times or lessons learned, and framed them as hints of something darker. But in full context, those interviews were about the music industry, business challenges, financial decisions, and personal growth, not about a family tragedy. Context rarely spreads as quickly as emotion, and emotion drives engagement. Here's how rumor cycles often unfold. A speculative video is uploaded with an intense title. Another account reposts it with even stronger wording. Comment sections fill with concern and shock. The algorithm detects high engagement. The content spreads further. Viewers assume something must have happened. But when you search for actual evidence, police records, court documents, official family statements, investigative journalism, there's nothing confirming the claim. No verified incident.
No documented rival confession. No substantiated wrongdoing.
If something serious had occurred involving the child of a public figure with Lil Jon's profile, credible media outlets would report it. Major events leave documented trails. Instead, what we see is a pattern familiar in celebrity culture. When a public figure protects their family's privacy, the silence becomes suspicious to some observers. That silence can morph into theory. Theory can become clickbait. We've seen similar cycles affect other artists' families. Even figures like Eminem and Kanye West have had their children pulled into rumor waves fueled more by online chatter than confirmed facts. The psychology behind it is powerful. When a headline mentions someone's child, it immediately raises emotional stakes. People feel protective. They click out of concern. They share out of shock. Content creators understand that reaction. The phrase "fans are speechless" amplifies urgency. It implies a revelation so dramatic that it leaves audiences stunned. But sometimes, what leaves people speechless isn't tragedy. It's realizing the story lacked evidence in the first place. Lil Jon's evolution over the years actually tells a different story, one of growth rather than chaos. After dominating the charts with explosive club anthems, he expanded into television, philanthropy, and creative projects outside traditional hip-hop. His public persona matured. He spoke openly about shifting priorities. Fatherhood has been described as one of the grounding forces in his life. That grounding presence doesn't align with the dramatic narrative suggested by sensational headlines. Meanwhile, Nathan Smith has pursued his own interests, including music and DJ culture, but without aggressively chasing fame. Choosing to remain relatively private in a hypervisible world is not unusual. In fact, it can be intentional. Not every celebrity family wants constant exposure, and lack of exposure is not evidence of crisis. Another factor to consider is how digital platforms reward engagement. The more shocking the title, the higher the click-through rate. The more comments, the more visibility. Even skeptical comments boost reach. Accuracy doesn't always travel as fast as intensity. That's why it's important to slow down and ask basic questions when encountering dramatic claims. Who is the source? What is the evidence? Which reputable outlets confirmed this? Are there official statements? If those questions don't have clear answers, the claim likely rests on speculation. As of now, there is no credible confirmation that anything catastrophic happened to Lil Jon's son. There is no verified confession from rivals. There is no documented scandal tied to the dramatic headlines circulating online. What exists is a powerful example of how easily narratives can be constructed in the digital age. The combination of celebrity, family, and implied conflict creates a potent formula for virality. But virality is not validation. Hook 5, drama/teaser style, streaming numbers climb. Speculation grows. The spotlight is back. Now, the question is, will we see new music, a public statement, or a surprise collaboration? The world is watching. Dirk could choose to step back briefly, recalibrate privately, and return with a fully realized project later this year. Third, a major collaboration. Moments like this often lead to high-profile features. A surprise guest verse could instantly dominate streaming charts. Whatever path he chooses, one thing is clear. The attention is there. And attention is currency. Segment 10, fan loyalty. Perhaps the most powerful aspect of this viral moment is the loyalty on display. Fans didn't just watch the clip. They defended, celebrated, and amplified it. Support messages poured in from across the globe. International fan pages reposted the footage with translated captions. Reaction videos came from multiple countries. This level of global engagement doesn't happen by accident. It's built over years of connection. Dirk's music has served as a soundtrack to countless lives. For many listeners, his lyrics represent perseverance. Seeing him walk forward in that clip felt symbolic of pushing through adversity. That emotional connection fuels longevity. Segment 11. The reinvention possibility. Every major artist reaches crossroads. Some double down on their established sound. Others evolve. Some completely reinvent themselves. Could this be the start of a reinvention era? Adversity often sharpens creativity. Reflection can deepen lyricism. Experience can reshape perspective. If Dirk channels this moment into his art, the next project could carry new emotional weight. Introspective, focused, layered. Fans are already predicting a classic before any official announcement has been made. That's the power of anticipation. Segment 12, final thoughts. In the end, the viral footage of Lil Durk's release is more than a trending topic. It's a cultural snapshot, a reminder of how quickly narratives can shift, how loyal communities rally, how a single quiet moment can spark global conversation. The clip may only last seconds, but its ripple effect continues to expand. Streaming numbers are climbing. Speculation is growing. The spotlight is firmly back in place. Now, the next move becomes critical. Will we see new music? A public statement?
À surprise collaboration?
The world is watching. And if history tells us anything, moments like these often mark the beginning of something bigger.